Let's keep it 100. Everybody who know me, you know I don't do this. I don't do none of this corniness. Can y'all hear me? Alright, cool. Everybody who know me, y'all know my style.
So I think it's not about the problem, it's about how you handle the problem. And I think I handled it very well. And everything trends for a minute and then it goes away.
It always goes away.
I've been waiting like, yo, what's the grid? Like, go ahead, bro. I've been waiting. I was like, ooh, God.
Not even a day after Claressa Shields was celebrating her own movie screening, the internet flipped the moment into drama. What should have been a proud, successful night quickly turned into a viral controversy involving relationships that Claressa never asked for. This time, it wasn't about boxing, it was about Papoose, Remy Ma, and old connections resurfacing online. Fans even called it one of the most unexpected celebrity crossovers of the year. It all started when Papoose posted Claressa on Instagram with an artistic photo in the caption, "If the path is beauty, let's not ask where it leads," which sounded poetic and supportive at first, but immediately sparked online speculation. But the internet rarely lets anything pass without turning it into a discussion. Within minutes, someone commented, "All she needed was someone like you to bring out her feminine side." On the surface, it could be read as a compliment, but many users felt it carried a deeper implication, hinting at more than just admiration. Before the situation could even settle, Claressa Shields' ex-fiancé Tony Richardson added more fuel to the fire. Posting under the name Tony Rich on Facebook, he shared a shady message saying, "When I hit Remy Ma, don't y'all be on my peanut," followed by laughing emojis, which immediately intensified the online drama. And honestly, it was clear what kind of energy he was trying to add to the situation. Nobody had called him out or even mentioned his name, yet he stepped right into the middle of the drama as if he was waiting for his chance to stir things up. It didn't take long for the post to go viral. Within hours, it was being widely shared, gaining thousands of reactions, and turning the comments section into complete chaos with people debating, laughing, and tagging others. But what really caught everyone off guard was Claressa Shields' response. Instead of explaining or responding in detail, she simply dropped a heart emoji, and that small reaction ended up speaking louder than anything else. Fans quickly began piecing things together and asking questions, wondering what it meant for Claressa Shields to react to her ex's post while also being linked to Papoose. Many felt the timing was too questionable to ignore, especially since it seemed to indirectly shade Remy Ma. Social media quickly split. Some accused Claressa of stirring drama, while others saw it as sarcasm or pettiness. Either way, it only added more fuel to an already tense situation. Now, the bigger question fans are asking is whether Claressa has truly moved on from Tony Richardson, or if there's still unresolved history between them, especially given how much speculation is already happening publicly. But before looking at Papoose's reaction, it's worth remembering who Tony Richardson really is. He wasn't just a casual ex who faded away. He and Claressa Shields were once very serious. They went public around late 2020, sharing photos and affectionate posts that made them look like a strong couple. By 2022, Claressa even showed off a diamond ring with the caption, "My man loved me," signaling how deeply involved the relationship had become. It clearly wasn't something light or temporary. There was real emotion and future plans involved. That's what makes his recent online jab hit harder, as it suggests there may still be unresolved tension between them, now playing out very publicly. Claressa Shields wasn't casually calling Tony Richardson bae. She was publicly presenting him as her fiancé and treating the relationship as serious. The ring, anniversary posts, New Year celebrations, and even updates about them buying and selling property together all suggested long-term commitment. So when she later appeared linked with Papoose, fans were confused because the timeline didn't seem to match what had been publicly shown before. By May, she was still celebrating milestones with Tony, which made the sudden shift feel abrupt. This led people to question when the breakup actually happened and whether there was any overlap. Tony's post added to the speculation, while Papoose stayed calm online, sharing her with poetic captions that fans interpreted in very different ways given the situation. People are now questioning whether Papoose is fully aware of everything happening around him, especially given how quickly the situation is evolving online. At the same time, Remy Ma hasn't stayed silent either. Instead of stepping back, she has reportedly made her presence felt in her own way, delivering subtle but sharp remarks that fans interpret as targeted at both sides. One comment in particular, where she allegedly referenced Claressa Shields in a dismissive way, quickly spread online and was widely screenshotted before it could disappear. As a result, the entire situation has turned into a fast-moving cycle of posts, reactions, and responses, with everyone trying to piece together what's really going on behind the scenes. Papoose appears to be subtly showcasing Claressa Shields on his social media, while Claressa engages with her ex's jokes in a way some fans interpret as lighthearted but questionable. At the same time, Remy Ma is also weighing in with indirect shade that seems to touch both sides. This has left fans confused, trying to figure out what's real, what's playful, and what may be more emotionally charged behind the scenes. From an outside perspective, Papoose seems intent on showing he's moved on, while the surrounding reactions from both women have unintentionally made him the center of the ongoing narrative. Papoose's silence is fueling speculation about his relationship with Papoose and whether anything has been officially confirmed or is being misinterpreted alongside his situation with Remy Ma. Fans remain confused about timelines, especially with Claressa Shields' past relationship with Tony Richardson still circulating online, creating a perceived overlap and a triangle narrative. The situation escalated further when Claressa Shields appeared to respond publicly to tensions involving Remy Ma, with deleted posts quickly spreading across social media. What began as relationship speculation has now turned into a viral discussion, with fans and commentators dissecting every move and framing it as an ongoing public storyline. Then Claressa Shields wasn't finished speaking on the situation. She followed up on Instagram with a post of herself smiling and the caption, "Outside in these NY streets, call me," which many immediately interpreted as a direct message aimed at Remy Ma. The tone came off as bold and unfiltered, almost like she was making it clear she wasn't avoiding anything or anyone. Social media quickly ran with it, and the engagement around the situation spiked again, as public back and forth between high-profile names tends to do. But just as the tension seemed to peak, another figure entered the conversation. Easy the Block Captain, the battle rapper previously linked to Remy Ma, adding yet another layer to an already escalating storyline. Out of nowhere, Easy the Block Captain entered the conversation and directly addressed Papoose online, saying, "Unblock me, bro," while also denying rumors that Papoose ever confronted or fought him. He further claimed Papoose had known about his connection with Remy Ma for nearly 2 years, instantly shifting the narrative and intensifying online debate. If true, it suggested deeper layers behind the situation than fans initially assumed, involving more than just surface-level drama. Meanwhile, the silence from Papoose continued to fuel speculation, with audiences divided between seeing him as calm and composed or quietly entangled in a growing public controversy. Remy Ma eventually stepped in and denied the claim that Papoose ever had any physical altercation with Easy the Block Captain, which only added another layer of confusion to the situation. The overlapping statements and contradictions from different sides left the internet dissecting every detail, trying to make sense of who is saying what and why. As the narrative spread, many online observers began focusing on how each person involved is being perceived publicly. Remy appears largely unbothered and even lighthearted at times. Claressa Shields is seen continuing her public presence without directly engaging in the deeper back and forth, while Papoose finds himself at the center of most of the scrutiny. For some, it's a sharp contrast to his long-standing reputation built around loyalty and standing by Remy during her incarceration, which makes the current public attention feel even more amplified. Once seen as husband goals, Papoose is now being portrayed online in a very different light, with some users describing him as someone struggling to control the narrative in his personal life. The ongoing situation has only fueled that perception, as every attempt he makes to appear composed or moved on seems to be met with another wave of public reaction. From Remy Ma's subtle public jabs to Claressa Shields not fully engaging in the way fans expect, and even Claressa's ex stepping in with commentary, each layer adds more attention to the situation. As a result, the focus has shifted away from assigning blame and more toward how each person is handling the pressure of constant visibility. In today's social media climate, composure often speaks louder than words, and Papoose's silence has become part of the narrative itself. Papoose still hasn't publicly addressed the situation, with no statements or clarifications, and that silence is becoming a major part of the narrative. While silence can sometimes signal confidence or restraint, in this case it's being interpreted by some fans as a loss of control over how the story is being shaped online. As discussions continue, opinions remain divided. Some feel his public image has shifted over time, while others see the entire situation as exaggerated social media noise. Meanwhile, Remy Ma, Claressa Shields, and even Claressa's ex continue to be part of the ongoing conversation in different ways, keeping the topic active across platforms. With no clear resolution in sight, the situation continues to evolve as audiences speculate about what will happen next.